Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Chelsea. I am a teacher. I'm heading into a long-term sub position right now, so I'm doing this teacher series. This video is super exciting because it's all about my classroom library. So these are all the books that I have collected that I will put into my classroom library at some point. Thankfully, the position that I'm going into has a lot of books already that belong to the school that will be left there for me. These are just my own personal books that I will be taking in as well. I will say that a large majority of these books were bought at thrift stores, so like Goodwill, Salvation Army, things like that. So I think I'm averaging around $1 a book, which is fantastic because it can really add up. So let's get into what I've collected. I kind of have my books organized into piles around me, so I'm going to try to give this to you as clearly as possible. I'm going to start with the series books. So the first series I have to share with you is The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I was able to go to 2 different thrift stores and find numbers 1 through 6 for a reasonable price, so I'm super excited to have these. The next series I have started is this Anna and Elsa series from Frozen. I have books 1 through 3. I've never read these books before, but I'm sure that I will have a girl in my class who loves Frozen and would be super stoked about these. This next little series I actually got at Ollie's, which is a discount store. I don't think it's in all of America, but it's in a fair amount. Anyways, I was able to get these for 99 cents, and they're just some Scooby-Doo mysteries. So we have The Groovy Ghost, Karate Keeper, and Vampire's Revenge. So I figured that might be a little fun addition to my library, and they do have some cute, colorful pictures inside as well. I was able to find 2 different Ivy and Bean books, so I think I have the first one over here, and then I think this one is number 9. Yep, book 9, Make the Rules. These are ones that I actually had to read in my college class because that's what you do as an education major, and I really enjoyed them, so I'm hoping to eventually build more of this series up. I also picked up 2 different Judy Blume books, so I got Double Fudge and I got Super Fudge. I picked up a couple Geronimo Stilton books as well. There are a ton of books in this series. I'm pretty sure like 60 plus. But I have numbers 59 and 4. So again, I'm sure I will build up this collection over time as well. I got 2 different Fly Guy Presents books, so I got Fly Guy Presents Castles and Fly Guy Presents Weather. So these are more so nonfiction texts which show like little graphics and captions that the kids are really into. Alright, so I'm pretty sure those are all of the series that I've started collecting so far. The next category is miscellaneous chapter books. Some of these are part of series, but I only have one of them so far, so they're just going in here. So the first one is Narwhal, Unicorn of the Sea, and this is just a graphic novel format, which I think will be super fun for the kids. Next, I picked up a Dogman book, which are super popular with elementary schoolers right now. I remember during my student teaching semester, we would have kids on book exchange day just running to the Dogman section of the library and be so devastated when they were all checked out, but everybody loved them. So I got one for my library so far. I'm going to keep an eye out for more. I got one of these Stink books. This is Stink and the Incredible Supergalactic Jawbreaker. This is book 2 in the series. I got Beverly Cleary's Henry Huggins because it's always a classic. Charlotte's Web, another classic. I got this Clementine book, which I've heard good things about. I never read it personally, but my fiance said it was really good. Yes, even he read it. I got one of these Puppy Pirates Stowaway books because I always loved the dog books when I was growing up. I'm sure I'll have some dog lovers in my class. This is another one that I had to read in my college classes. So this is Star Wars Jedi Academy, a new class. And this is, again, more of a graphic novel format. It kind of switches back and forth. But it's actually surprisingly good. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I'm sure I'll have some Star Wars fans. I actually got 2 of these Hachiko, I think that's how you pronounce it, Hachiko Waits books. So I was thinking we could have students doing partner reading with this, which I think would be really fun. Eventually, if I had a fuller set, maybe like 5 or 6, I could do this as a guided reading story as well. Alright, I have 3 more books before we transition into the picture books. So these 3 I actually had to purchase for college classes, and I had to read them and review them and everything like that. The first one is El Defo, which is, again, a graphic novel. I remember enjoying this book. I think kids will find it to be fun. The other 2, my stack just fell over. The other 2 are probably more so books that I would do as read-alouds to a class. So the first one is The Year of Billy Miller. This is about a boy who's going into 2nd grade and he is very worried all the time. It's actually written by Kevin Henkes, who's written a lot of different picture books like Lily and the Purple Plastic Purse and Chrysanthemum. I actually just ordered a lot off of eBay of his books, his picture books, because I really enjoy them. But this is a really good one that I will do as a read-aloud, hopefully with this long-term subclass that I have. Just because, you know, they're in 2nd second grade, and if they haven't read it yet, it's a good story for them to hear. And then the other one is called Full of Beans, and this is a story set in Key West, and it has just a lot of good lessons and values to learn from it. I actually lied. Before I get on to the picture books, I have 3 different nonfiction texts that I wanted to share with you. The first one is Who Was Harriet Tubman? I know there's a whole series of these, and I definitely want to collect more, but this is the one I found first. Also found a little book on the Titanic, and then a book about John F. Kennedy. Okay, so now you're finally moving on to the picture books. The first ones I have are by Laura Numeroff. I have a whole bunch of her books in different sizes and everything. So I have the classic, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, then If You Take a Mouse to School, If You Give a Cat a Cupcake, If You Give a Dog a Donuts, and then If You Give a Moose a Muffin. Next, I have Frog and Toad Are Friends, and I loved Frog and Toad books when I was in 1st grade. It was my obsession. I have another Star Wars book. This is Goodnight Darth Vader. Then at Ollie's I picked up these 2 board books. I just thought they were really cute. My kids probably won't enjoy them that much, but I enjoy them. This one's called Carrot and Pea, An Unlikely Friendship. It's actually a really cute story. And then I have My Little Forest, and this is actually made out of recycled materials, which I thought was interesting. Probably could include that in a science unit, now that I'm thinking about it. Next we have Croc and Allie Are Friends. Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach. This is one of those easy readers, and I'm wanting to get more Pete the Cat books because I know those are pretty popular as well. I have this classic book called Snow. I grew up with this book, so I'm excited to add that to my classroom library. This next book is actually a sequel to The Rainbow Fish. So this is Rainbow Fish and the Big Blue Whale. Next we have another fish book called The Bravest Fish. Next is Thanksgiving Mice. How Do Penguins Play? Mooseltoe, which is another classic for me. This next one I got for only 25 cents. It's called Chameleons Are Cool. This next one is one of Eric Carle's books. This is Panda Bear, What Do You See? Similar concept to Brown Bear, What Do You See? But it's just different animals that a panda bear would run into. This next story looks like it's going to give a lot of information about African American culture. It's called Dear Mr. Rosenwald, so I'm excited to add that to my classroom library. Next up we have Camilla the Cupcake Fairy, which how girly and fun is this book? Then these last 2 I purchased at Ollie's, and I'm super excited about both of them. The first one is Max the Brave, which is just so cute. The very last one is probably my favorite. This is called Boo's Beard. It's about a boy who has a hard time reading people's facial expressions, which is something that a lot of people struggle with, a lot of children struggle with. So it's a really cute story about the dog helps him connect with other friends at the park. So I'm excited to add that one as well. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that is the end of my classroom library book haul. Thank you for sticking with me through it all. My battery's dying. Perfect timing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.